This looks good. And this looks good. All right, that looks good. Now I just got to kind of wait for the little notification to pop up. And we'll, have everything up. There it is. Cool. Slide that over, pop that open. Hopefully everyone who's listening is having a good night, staying warm and dry out there. It's kind of rainy where I'm at. Kind of sucks. What's up, Nicholas? Oh shit, Amir's live. Doing some Raptors and Timberwolves. All right. What's up, Fernando? What's up, Nicholas? How you guys doing? Hopefully you're having good nights. Yeah, sorry about not going live the last 2 nights. Usually I like to go live on at least Wednesdays. But I think now that I kind of have an idea of what my schedule is and how things are going to look for the semester, I'm going to switch my kind of night off to Tuesdays or to Wednesdays. What's up, that one guy? So that way it's because I have class on Wednesday and Thursday, that'll kind of give me just like a natural, nice little day out. So I'll just start streaming something on Tuesdays. Yeah, I'm sure you're getting nervous, that one guy. Big fucking game. Crazy people think we are Cardinal. There are candidates more worthy than. Yeah, we can talk about Coach of the Year here. Watching Warriors Celtics right now. Oh, that's a good game. Doing good. Had a day off work. Oh, that's always a good day. Do I know Pasta Cat 48? No, what is that? I can't say that I do. Yeah, it feels like Dabble's a pretty safe choice. The only person you could really argue right now against him would be like Pete Carroll, because he also made the playoffs. You got to remember that the Coach of the Year is decided not on anything to do with playoffs, so it's only regular season. No, I've never heard of that person either, Fernando. You got like Peterson. I think you've got Carroll. I think you've got Dable. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, buddy? Maybe McDermott, just because of all the shit the Bills have had to deal with. That's quite the tremendous to still finish 13-3 with not only the DeMar Hamlin situation, but all the snow problems, the travel issues, didn't they have Dawson Knox's brother passed away before the season really began? The Bills have been hit, and the Buffalo Bills fandom and team and franchises really had the ringer thrown at him this year. And through it all, it seems like McDermott's kind of been this guiding, comforting force for that football team. As much as I don't, care for the Bills or anything, McDermott does seem like a really, really good head coach who should be considered for an award like that. Damn, it's when a video happens and someone cuts it off and just puts a food and it's... What? Oh, those are just videos you've seen? My guy Brian, who's a Jags fan, is traveling to Arrowhead. Yeah, I've heard a lot of Jags fans are traveling. We're going to try to. Yeah, the Bills have gone through a lot, but I don't want to see them win the Super Bowl, but I could see them the argument for McDermott. But again, when you have a super team, you're expected to win a lot of games, and they did. So it's wow, you did a good job coaching all them superstars. Must have been difficult winning 13 games with I don't know, out of 22 starters, you might have 13 of the top 5 in each of their respected skill positions. So it's yeah, it's probably really hard to win games when, maybe running back is your weakest spot on offense. And Dable, Tomlin, Carroll, Peterson, and Campbell. Oh, yeah, you also have to include a guy like Dan Campbell, Mike Tomlin. Though they didn't make the playoffs, you can't really excuse what they've been doing. Though I do think Dan Campbell's year to win Coach of the Year is probably next year. Especially if the Lions make the playoffs next year, you could just give Dan Campbell the award. Don't even there's this much debate about next year for the Lions. And really, with Brad Holmes, he could wind up winning Executive of the Year. It'll probably be a tandem thing for the two of them. As soon as Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year and makes the playoffs, it'll also be Brad Holmes winning the Executive of the Year for GM of the Year. Even if the Bills win this game, it's hard to see Mahomes losing back-to-back AFC Championship games since they win like they should. Yeah. Yeah, as long as the Lions do that, they're easily going to win a lot of awards next year. But yeah, Dable should be Coach of the Year. Peterson's going to be a bitch because of what he did with Jacksonville. And Tomlin and Camp. Yeah, you know what, that one guy? You have the exact list of Coach of the Year. Those will probably be the only guys who get votes. And like a couple guys will vote for McDermott. And like, I mean, the real Coach of the Year is Belichick. I mean, let's be honest. But, nobody wants to have that conversation. For sure, Fernando. Yeah, Campbell probably wins it if the Lions make the playoffs this year. If they would have won it, yeah, they would. After starting 1-6, yeah, they would have been the only team in league history to do that. There would have been zero real question about that one. Goff would be getting MVP consideration if they did that. You remember when Quan was in here and he freaked the fuck out on me that one stream because I said Jared Goff is playing at an MVP level? And now that the season's over, it's like, oh yeah, he had like the fourth best stats in the NFL passing wise this year. Won 9 games in a row, almost 10 this season. All right, whatever. Keep telling me I'm wrong that Goff didn't play at a fucking near MVP level. The 6th pick, you're gonna say Miles Murphy or Brian Brees. Are those offensive football players? If they don't play defense, Brian Brees is the Miami Hurricanes defensive tackle. Correct. Lions should be focusing defense. If anything, trade that pick back, grab Joey Porter at like pick 13 or 14, see if anybody up around there wants to move in. You can 100% grab Joey Porter. The only problem is you might have to deal with the Patriots trying to grab Porter around 14 or 15. So you can't really just like push that off to your later pick because like the Patriots like very likely could be looking at Joey Porter Jr. with a lot of like lust in their eyes. We can talk about any topic you want to talk about. This is like the hot take stream. This is whatever opinion you want to get out there, like whatever free agency takes. You could bring up like, where do you think this player is going to wind up? And I'm in the mood for hot takes tonight. The Colts might trade up to the first. Yeah, I could. Well, yeah, they might. But Bryce Young's also there and Will Levis. I think they like all three of those guys. But yeah, Lions should be going defense. Possibly trading back to like the 10, 12. Or seeing if the Colts, just seeing what you can do with those. Move back a little bit. Play the Miami game. You can take Noah Sewell if you're the Lions. That's a great linebacker pickup. Obviously, like his older brother plays for the team, and you see the guy that Panay is involved into. I think Noah has that kind of same trajectory. And I think Noah Sewell's specialty is in like pass rush and run defense. So like, yeah, but there's a lot of expectations he could sneak up into the first round. I shouldn't be talking about the draft right now. Yeah, I know. You needed to draft a second corner and a number 1 receiver and center and linebackers. I heard Jackson is having a say in who will be the coordinator for the Ravens. I don't care. I actually will give I will talk about the Lamar Jackson thing in just a second and the whole Greg Roman getting let go. And I actually think that means Lamar's staying in Baltimore. I was like, oh, damn it, he's not leaving now. Because now John Harbaugh had a press conference where they're like, we're bringing in a whole bunch more receivers. We're getting in a whole new offense. Lamar's involved in it. And I'm like, oh, so they're finally going to listen to their goddamn quarterback and put a real offense in there. I actually think he might stay now based on the language that we're here. I'm going to guess within a week we'll hear the contract. It's probably almost done in my like small opinion. But yeah, we'll see what the Lions do with the draft. I'm guessing defense is going to be the way they go. Should be. And the Giants, yeah. Giants probably have to get some receivers. You guys got to get some offense on that football team. And, maybe you can fish around in free agency for another corner. Jonathan Jones from the Patriots is probably leaving, and there's going to be a pretty decent free agent target. My team finally fired Josh Boyer. Yeah, I seen that. It's about time. I want Vic Fangio or Lovie Smith as the new defensive coordinator. It'd be stupid if Baltimore let Lamar go. Sounds like he's staying now. Yeah, 100% with the Lamar thing. It sounds like they're going to commit to Lamar. I wouldn't be shocked we didn't hear about a contract real soon here. Now that Roman's gone and shit like that, and for some reason Roman was like dead set on Lamar not being a traditional quarterback, and it's like, dude, the guy actually can throw the fucking ball pretty good. Let him stand in the pocket and throw it. No, we need 18 runs out of our 6'3", 180-pound quarterback. How about you let him throw it? He won an MVP, threw like 36 touchdowns and like fucking 12 picks. I don't even think it was that many. I wish, Fernando. I wonder what Washington is going to end up doing. They're very curious. The Washington football team? Yeah. Or the Commanders? Yeah, they're... Well, Washington's in a state of, until we see Dan Snyder sell the team, they're going to be shitty. Boy, oh boy, once they sell what Dan Snyder goes, holy shit, that could be a good football team. Because Dan Snyder's the curse, right? You got to get rid of the curse. Kind of like William Clay Ford and the old Fords owning the Lions were a curse. Sheila Ford's been the owner of the Lions for 2 years or so, and the team's like completely brand new. Dan Snyder has to go. And, I mean, we'll probably see, it'll be curious to see what emerges out of the fire of the Washington Commanders. Again, you have a very profitable football team, so, it won't be quick. It won't be hard to turn it around. Jacoby Myers? Yeah, he's technically, yeah, if the Patriots and him can't agree to an extension. But I'm guessing that they're going to want to keep Jacoby Myers. He's not really a number one, but in terms of a number two receiver with like a real, like, say they trade for a DeAndre Hopkins or something like that, you'd have to think like even if it's not DeAndre Hopkins, right? Say they go get like Keenan Allen or try to trade for Mike Williams or try to go get like a receiver like somebody like that, right? You'd probably want to keep Myers and Bourne as your twos and slot receiver, because I mean, Dan Snyder is an asshole. Yeah, I got to get rid of that guy. What's going on with the Raiders? I have no idea what the Raiders are about to do. No, I don't think so. You could just look that up on Google. Brady to the Raiders. Carr gets traded to Washington. Garoppolo to the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers returns to Green Bay. Yeah, it seems likely. Nah, I don't... Am I like being a major party pooper if I'm like, this offseason doesn't feel like it's going to be that crazy to me? Not compared to what happened last offseason. Nah, like I kind of agree with what Nicholas is saying, but I have a little bit different of a trajectory on where I think people are going to go. I think Carr winds up in New York, and I have a very strong feeling on that. He just strikes me as more of what the Jets need. Like he's more of a kind of a dynamic locker room leader, more of a dynamic player. I feel like probably a better teacher than Jimmy G would be to Zach Wilson. And so if I'm what's up, Trey? If I'm the 49ers and Jimmy G doesn't care about being a backup, which if the start of this season's any indication, it seems like he was fine with being the backup. I'm wondering if Jimmy G, well, what's up, JJ? How you doing, buddy? I'm wondering if Jimmy G isn't just going to stay in San Francisco. Like, I'm getting this weird feeling that they wind up trading Trey Lance, if anybody. But, like, Jimmy G, I mean, he's, like, I wonder, does Jimmy still see himself as, like, I don't know, like, I don't know this, he could, but does he still see himself as a number one quarterback? Does he think, like, do we know that after this injury this time? Is it more like, I'd rather fucking just stop getting hurt and be like we don't, you know what I mean? Like, there could be this, I'll just stick around 49ers. like 100% Trey Lance is going to get traded, but what if they want to keep Jimmy as their backup? And Jimmy doesn't really see any qualm in being the backup at this juncture. What is he, like fucking 12 years into his career almost at this point? The dude been hurt like every 3 years, like maybe every 2 years. He has a serious injury. I know he's not going to retire or anything like that. I don't see that. But like, what's his desire to go be a starting quarterback for a team that doesn't have as much as the Niners do? Maybe I don't see it. I don't know. But I also see Carr going to the Jets more than that. And Nicholas, don't be shocked. Ooh, if your Miami Dolphins don't get Aaron Rodgers. I got a weird feel. I keep feeling that, right? And I don't know why it is I feel that. I'm usually very good about predicting Aaron Rodgers moves. But boy, oh boy, if you the Packers indicate that they're kind of looking to retool a little bit and go real young, why not? You were this close to getting Tom Brady, literally this close. I still personally feel like the only reason Tom Brady didn't do that with your team is like 100% because he has like a weird thing against, it's the Dolphins thing. If he didn't play for the Patriots, you guys would have had Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like that's more, I guarantee that has more to do with it than like anything more so to do with anything else. Why wouldn't Aaron Rodgers want to come play for your team? Tell me. Give me one good reason over Green Bay right now, especially if Green Bay elects to decide to go young, which is a real option. Green Bay's throwing that option around right now. Tua's going to have to retire from football. Let's be very honest. If I was running a football team, I would move on from him. I know that may sound shitty. I think he's a great young quarterback and maybe somebody else, but it's like, dude, we have like a fucking business to run here. This is like, we can't just kind of just sit in limbo and wait for you to get better all the time. Like, we can't afford to fucking do this. You know what I mean? Like we like you, Tua. You're a good kid, but like every time you get hit, you get a concussion. At some point, it's just you're made of glass. Like, that's why the 49ers moved on from Jimmy Garoppolo. You mean to tell me that they just decided, hey, it's probably for the best interest of this team to get rid of our quarterback that's put us in 3 NFC title games and a Super Bowl in his, 4 years as a starter here? Yeah, let's just get rid of that guy. Do you know how stupid and crazy that sounds? Do you know the only reason you get rid of a Jimmy Garoppolo with how successful and beloved he is in their locker room? The injuries. The only reason you get rid of Tua, I hate being that guy because it's very like the locker room loves him, the fan base loves him. He's a good young quarterback. He seems to be like developing extremely well year to year. Even I backed off. I was like, damn, he's actually not that bad. He ran into a little bit of a hump there in the middle of the season, but you're scoring 28 points a game and your defense is giving up 30. I don't really put that on the offense, you know? Yeah, no, I hope Tua can make it work, but I don't know. I just got this weird feeling with Tua. No, and it's not even, it's like the concussions, and it's also a lot of the concussions he gets. It's like this it feels like they're concussions nobody else suffers. Like, why is he slamming so violently off the ground like that? I know he's a smaller guy, but has Kyler Murray ever had a serious concussion like Tua has? Kyler gets thrown around too. He gets blasted downward. He gets tossed around on the field. If Tua's got a small brain, he wouldn't get concussions. That doesn't make sense. If you got a tiny little brain and it doesn't rattle off your skull, how are you going to get a concussion? It's just floating in the ether in your skull. How does that work? This dude's like, he's got no brain. He's got a little brain. Yeah, I don't think that's how that works. Like, the joke doesn't make sense. Yeah, we have 8 likes. That's pretty good. If you haven't left, to like consider dropping one. It'll help the stream out. Yeah, you don't want to get like that's what 3 concussions maybe inside of a 6-month period. That's really bad. He's our QB next year, so if that's the case, we need to get a backup that's capable of winning games. Like, yeah, you guys have to go sign a really capable backup. You know, I wish Mac Jones was a rookie. I had his rookie year this year. You want to know why? Because then there wouldn't be Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson to steal the goddamn award away from us. How's Mac Jones going to have the 5th best rookie season of all time for a quarterback in the NFL and then lose the goddamn rookie of the year? I'm still fucking seething about that. Like, really? Really? Justin Jefferson had a far better rookie year than Jamar Chase, and he didn't win the award, but you gave it to Justin Herbert. Mac Jones has the literal 5th greatest rookie season of all time. It's like the best rookie season of all time as far as wins goes. 5th as far as statistics go. And you're meaning to tell me that wasn't rookie of the year worthy? Judon's not even going to get a single vote for defensive player of the year. Did he even get a single vote for fucking all pro? Was he even second team or all? Like, was he even mentioned? Like, I don't even think Judon drew a single goddamn vote from the all pro team. 0 shot he's winning Depoy. One of the tricks you can use with the AP all pro teams, you can pretty much figure out who's going to get MVPs, right? No, I don't think Judon was all pro. I think only Slater got all pro. Or Marcus Jones. Maybe season will be good for the Cubs? Maybe. Yeah, pretty much, Nicholas. With you can go kind of look at who gets all like the good votes for like the all pro positions. Associated Press. It's there. The AP is like the awards given out by the Associated Press. They're like usually it's like a legion of writers who write about the sport. Like it'd be like the Football Writers of America vote for, and like the AP. Like there's a whole complicated thing. Basically, certain people get to like choose who the awards are given to, and those are the awards. There's always the Football Writers of America awards, which are a little bit separate. Yeah, you should like Detroit. They're the best baseball team. Trust me. Trust. The worst team to like is the Kansas City Royals. They're a AAA baseball team. And always suck asshole, except for 2 years or 3 years in franchise history. Just know that they're a bunch of pieces of shit. Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes owns a part of them if you need any more reason to hate him. Same city. Same bunch of dickheaded motherfucking loser fans. I get, you can tell, you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm actually getting fired up thinking about these stupid ass Royals fans. These 3 having, anyway. I'm glad I didn't drop any slurs right there. I'm improving. I'm growing. Detroit has far better barbecue. And we have better murder. So it's like we're just a better city than Kansas City. Like, think about it. We got better. We kill better. We got better food. We got better pizza. You know, we got better weed. Like, everything about Detroit is far superior to fucking Kansas City, Missouri. Ugh. Imagine saying, okay, which one sounds worse? I'm going to go hang out in Detroit. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm going to go hang out in Kansas City. Yeah, no one's ever kind of gleefully said that one. Detroit can at least have fun. You know, you got Cobo Center. You can go throw shit at Canada. You can go talk shit to Canada. It's right across the river. There's a whole, you can see Canada from across the river. It's crazy. Just look there and look at it. Be like, damn, a whole new country. Yes, I live in a border state. We have a lot of problems with illegal immigrants from Canada. I think there's a spot in the Michigan-Canadian border where you just kind of sign a book about like what time you came in and what time you come back. I'm not kidding. I've seen this place. It's a hilarious little. There's several spots in this along the northern border where it's just like a book and like about an hour 45. It's right by Comerica. It's awesome. Detroit rules, dude. I love being in Detroit. Once they get that bitch cleaned up just a little bit more, it's gonna. I want to live down there. It's almost good again. Yeah, I'd really love to live in Detroit. It'd be nice times. All expense paid cruise, February 5th to March 5th. Oh, nice. You seem to like cruises too, Trey. So congrats, man. I know you seem to really enjoy those. You're 25 minutes away from the stadium. Oh, shit. Miami Gardens is not the best area. Yeah, I mean, you know, I can imagine it's probably a little rough in South Florida at times, in places. But again, you know, the way I always look at things, it's like, the way Detroit, I would break it down is, yeah, some of the side cities streets are never going to be the safest. And that's in literally every single major United States city. Go ahead and point one out where there isn't one dangerous street or two, even in the middle of the day. Go ahead and find me one. Find me the city without that. The major cities. Find one. You won't find one. That's just kind of the nature of a city. 90% of Detroit in the daytime is literally you walk around with really no fear. Someone's just gonna fucking commit gang violence on you in the middle of the day for no reason. Nighttime, I wouldn't say though. You probably want to be on your toes and not go in certain spots. That's still pretty bad. But then again, you know, nothing good happens after dark anyway. Why would you go? I don't fuck around outside after dark. As I'm getting older. The bad part of Atlanta is the scariest. I'm being dead honest. I've heard that there's a couple bad parts of Atlanta, even Chicago. I've heard that most of Chicago is pretty good, but like, oh boy, you get into certain neighborhoods, you're in trouble. And it's like, yeah, I just wouldn't go over to them neighborhoods. Be like, no thanks. But here's like a big secret of a lot of gang stuff. As long as you're not like, it's like the weirdest thing. I've lived in gang turf before, and and it was, you know, we didn't know it was gang turf. We moved into a place and it was a complete accident. But like, I never had a problem. I'm not a gangster. I'm not affiliated with anything. It's very obvious I'm not. I don't think you get messed with if you're not. And you're not like, you know, being a fucking dickhead and causing a scene on yourself. And I didn't really notice I lived in a shitty neighborhood. But I'm also a white guy, so, you know, I'm probably, you know, I also might be a cop. So, not worth it. You never know. I'm a white dude walking around with absolutely no fear of living in the hood. So I'm like either a cop or I'm completely fucking crazy. I actually just like living in Flint. I was like, this place rules, dude. Everyone's always hilarious and high. Or drunk. It's always funny. People aren't that serious about nothing. It's a good Nashville. Yeah, I've been in Nashville. That place is insane. Same with Charlotte. I will agree with that. Anyway, let's go back to football. In Houston, there was a vehicle that was so filled with drugs, the engine was replaced with drugs. No one stole from it though. Wow. Pretty impressive. Or terrifying that it was that full of drugs and it was so gang ran that everyone knew, just don't touch that shit. Who do I want the Patriots to draft? Cody Rouch out of North Dakota State. Do we know who Cody Rouch is out of North Dakota State? Are we aware of who this man is? Now, I'm going to show you who Cody Rouch is. Let me show you one thing. Okay, let me go. You tell me if this is not the most Bill Belichick looking motherfucker you've ever seen. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I looked up the right name. Cody, North Dakota State. Mouch. Oh, okay. I'm spelling his name wrong. It's Cody Mouch. All right, there we go. Now, I pull this kid up and present to you. This is a kid from North Dakota State. He's about 6'6", 301 pounds. Plays at a Division FCS school. Vaguely a first rounder. Could go second, 100% second round pick. If he went to a bigger school, probably a top 10 pick. Top 18. I don't know, 14 or something like that. And he's offensive tackle. And look at him. Does that not scream a player Bill Belichick? Like, again, there's some players I often think, like, you know, Bill Belichick must go into, like, God mode in football and just, like, etch a sketch up some players and go, let's see, knock out his front teeth, hilarious long red hair, no eyebrows, sunburnt somehow from Montana or Dakota, small school, 6'6", 300 pounds. It's just like, and nobody wants him. All right, perfect. Like, what? And then this guy popped out. I'm like, damn, dude, what do we need? An offensive tackle? And this guy fell from heaven? What is this? And he's a run blocking expert, too. I watched a little bit of tape on the guy. This is, I want us to trade back and draft this guy. This is who I want New England to draft. Really bad. like from what I've seen, absolute motherfucking monster on the field. He moves dudes downfield, just shoving them down there. Just pancakes 90% of the plays. Dude, Nicholas, if you watch some of this guy's tape, all he does is pancake. It's literally pancake, block, pancake, block, pancake, 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 pancake. What happened to your first round pick? What happened? Yeah, he's a pancake machine and he never gets called for holding. So it's either he just gets away with it or 14 or 15, something like that. I don't know the exact number. You know, you can just look this up, Fernando. What's up, Jacob? Oh, okay. You guys, you lost it from tampering. What's up, Jacob? You're going to an NBA basketball. Oh, sweet. Which game you going to? But who do you want to draft, Nicholas, with your guys' pick? If we don't take him, then I want to trade the first pick to get a receiver, which, you know, probably could very well happen. I've seen a bunch of players, let me look at something. I've seen a pretty solid list of the people I want, I can't find the list I found, but it was just a good list of players I'd like the Patriots to get. I love Cody. He's a beast. Yeah, Liam, I'd really like the Patriots to pick him up. Cleveland Cavs versus Golden State. Oh, that'd be pretty good. I want Darrell Wright in the second round. He's an offensive tackle. We don't have a lot of holes, but we do need some offensive line depth and cornerback depth. Yeah, I would say you guys definitely need cornerback depth. Warriors have back-to-back. Please beat Warriors. Excuse me. Sorry, I keep burping. I ate before I went live. I don't really care much about basketball. I'm not going to read that. Very excited as a Patriots fan. Unprecedented times. My team's having like open interviews for the offensive court. We interviewed the Vikings wide receiver coach. We interviewed some guy named Clem. Bill O'Brien. Well, we interviewed Fernando. Trevlin, Hodges, Tomlinson. Once we get Byron Jones cut, we can draft that corner from TCU that I like. Okay. Nick Caley, we interviewed. Yeah, I think there's rumors the Patriots might interview that Georgia offensive coordinator. If he's gonna start taking interviews or at any time soon. I'm very excited. I kind of hope we take that. there's some names I'm liking here. I like that Vikings wide receivers coach. I didn't know. I completely didn't even think of it. He's been their receivers coach for like 10 years now or some shit like that. And I'm like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. How about we send that guy over to New England? We desperately could use that cocksucker. That's like, I'm like, wait a minute. I forgot about receivers coaches as well. We definitely need that actually really badly. All our receivers suck ass at playing wide receiver, kinda. We can't develop for shit. We could use a guy who maybe, keeps just churning out wide receiving talent. TJ Hawkinson literally became like a top 2 tight end as soon as he showed up there in Minnesota. He went from like a mediocre tight end in Detroit to literally, he might be the best tight end in football behind Kelsey. It's like, damn, this guy's really fucking good. He just is unstoppable. You noticed how quickly he developed when he got to Minnesota as a pass catching option. You really want Jack Campbell? What position does Jack Campbell play? Sorry, I'm not super the combine is when I get real dialed in for college football. Sean Jefferson, Cardinals OC. That's who it was. Sean Jefferson, Albert Olivio Avero, linebacker. Yeah, Jack Campbell would be good. Linebacker is a desperate need. Mark Andrews is second best tight end in my opinion. Yeah, probably. Linebacker from Iowa. I'll have to look him up. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of getting a player like that. I've also heard a lot of people say Brian Brees should be somebody the Lions should be thinking of. I think Bennett is going to be a decent pick by somebody. And I get that he's a little older, but I don't think that matters that much. You know what's really going to hurt him in the NFL in the draft status? The fact that his arm isn't very good. That's actually the biggest knock against the guy, in my humble little opinion. Again, if he could throw the ball 60 yards, he'd be the number 1 pick. Literally, I would guarantee something. I'd be like, no, he's going to be a top 5 pick. If he could throw it 60 yards, top 5. If he was 6'1", can throw it 60 yards, he'd be number 1. It would be zero questions about he'd be the number 1 pick. There'd be a goddamn fight for him. But again, the fact that he could throw it like 40 yards and it's a wobbly ass shit throw, it's that's gonna hurt him really bad. I'm very unimpressed by his arm. Oh, it's not very good. Smart quarterback, makes a ton of good reads, but wins a lot, clutch. Again, he has everything you might want, but can he do it in the NFL where you're not Georgia or Alabama open? You know what I mean? His arm is not strong. Like, it doesn't whip down there. It doesn't. He's going to get drafted because he's a fucking just straight up winner, and I'm pretty sure he probably got a career as a coordinator or is just a career backup, but if Bujan is there at 18, hell yeah. Oh, Bujan for the Lions? Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Baseball, yep, exactly, Kev. It's getting there. Where do we think D'Amico Ryans gets hired? He's going to be a good coach just like Salah. Kyle Shanahan's coaching tree is fucking unreal. I don't know, a lot of fun things to think about. This is an aggressively terrifying image. I'm gonna get it off the screen. A lot of wrestling. I don't want to click on any of the wrestlers trending. That seems like bad news. Yeah, I think Ryan wants to be a head coach. I don't think he'd leave San Francisco just to go hang out with his old buddy and his old mentor. Hey, what's up? Or one of his old buddies. He'd probably wind up in New York, but I don't think they need one. D'Amico, Denver. Yeah, it feels like Denver. I was also thinking Carolina, but it feels like Carolina might want an offensive head coach. I don't know why I got that vibe. I have no idea, Kev. Probably regular season. I can't imagine a team wants to do their banner celebration night on a fucking preseason game. To the 400 people in attendance, please rise to honor your world champions. It's like, oh, well, this was a bad idea to do this now. Denver. Yeah, it seems like Denver. Chargers are keeping Staley, but it's in, yeah, they fired Lombardi at least. It's the start of something. Jets may get Hackett. Yeah, I'm surprised the Packers haven't brought Hackett back in, but I guess I'm not really. The only team you don't want Bennett to go is Seahawks. I don't support Seahawks fans. I'm going Niners Cowboys game. Oh, nice, JJ. I'm sure you'll enjoy the game. It's going to be, yeah, that's what I thought, Spider. By the way, thank you to everyone who's left a like. If you haven't done so, consider doing so. Helps the stream out. No real goals on these. Just if you're enjoying it, just consider dropping a like. Or you support or you want Urban Meyer to be your football team's head coach if you don't leave a like. That's what. See, if you decide I don't feel like leaving a like, I wouldn't mind Urban Meyer as my team's head coach, and that's fine. That's cool. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence with the fucking Waffle House. He's quickly becoming, I think, a multi-team fan favorite. You know what? I think everybody kind of starting to be like, I think we all like Trevor Lawrence. Pittsburgh, yeah, Pittsburgh is keeping fucking Matt Canada, which is a shocker. That doesn't seem like a good idea. How can a guy who the whole NFL was like, this is the only guy who's worse than Matt Patricia, and the Steelers like, we're gonna keep him, and it's like, what are you doing, Pittsburgh? Literally, they're keeping him because they like the job he did with old boy. Yeah, they're keeping Canada. They're just gonna keep him around. They're like, hey, he did pretty good with Kenny Pickett and Pickens, so we're gonna keep them too. And it's like, oh, come on, don't do that to fucking Kenny. Go get him a real offense. Do you know how important coaching is? What up, Kenny? Speaking of people named Kenny, what's up, dude? Like, you've seen Mac Jones look like a promising quarterback in this league, regress to oh boy, they might need a new guy because of coaching. You've seen Josh Allen go from he's a bust to look at this MVP, look at this fucking stalwart of the league with coaching. And then you could look at like Tua, similar story. You know, it's like, what are you? Why are you just keeping a bad coach with a promising young player? We've seen what happens. Zach Wilson keeping the floor. Like, why would you just keep a shitty coach? Another team that can go after Derek Carr is Tampa Bay. Yep, Tampa Bay is going to be another one. Well, yeah, I don't know if he's going to want to go there. Doing good, Kenny. How you doing? What are the odds that someone like Chris Godwin or Mike Evans demands trades? Or just gets traded to start a rebuild? Once Brady's gone, they fired all... Like, I don't know if anybody's seen, but Brady's 100% leaving Tampa. Every single offensive coordinator coach is gone. They like just got rid of their whole offensive staff today. And one of the biggest telling things is Clyde Christensen being let go. And that's Brady's personal quarterback guy. So, yeah, he's done. That's all done in Tampa Bay. So I'm imagining there's going to be a fire sale for players down there. Guys like Godwin, guys like Evans are going to be available. So if your team needs a receiver, Maybe one of those guys can be the emergency plug you need. Just going to cost the price of letting Tampa Bay blow up their football team. You know, trade them a fucking pick. Have a good night, Liam. Thanks for stopping in, my friend. I appreciate you. Green Bay gonna get one? Oh, do you think they need one? What's up, Seth? Yeah, Seth, congrats, man. Got rid of the old boy. Oh, Tampa Bay? Yeah, they're gonna quickly become the Succaneers again. It's gonna be hilarious to watch. And we're just, as Patriots fans, it's gonna be hilarious to be like, well, you guys only won that Super Bowl because of Tom Brady. That's clear enough. Jesus Christ, you went back to 2 wins. What the fuck happened here? At least we still fight for the playoffs. What the fuck are you guys doing? Eesh. Unless they trade their 2 receivers and hit on picks. Like maybe Detroit gives them Detroit and them trade back, and like maybe there's some like magic done there. Tampa moves up to like one of the top 5 picks, and all of a sudden they take like Stroud or Levis or somebody like that who has a little bit of talent potential, and or they tank it out next year and draft Drake May. It's like, all right, cool, we got May now. It's just like, oh, they're not going to be bad for too long. Devin White, yeah, guys like I would imagine a guy like Devin White could even be up for grabs. If you're a team like the Lions, you might want to look into a player like that. Levante David. Yeah, again, Tampa Bay might be fucking ripe for the picking if you want some players. Carlton Davis might be available if you want to pay up a little bit. Like, hey, is Devin White available? Yeah, we'll take like a 2nd round pick. That's all you want? Tom Brady to the Raiders. That seems to be the most popular sentiment right now. Mainly because and the only reason I don't really disagree is because Josh McDaniels is standing over there. And it's just like, well, this makes way too much sense in my head. So like, I'm like, wait a minute. Where's he really going? Yeah, no, because it always makes too much sense. You can't, like, nobody's seen Tom going to Tampa Bay. Literally, like, except for like 2 or 3 crackhead Tampa Bay fucking Buccaneers fans. Who are like, nah, I got a good feeling he's coming to Tampa. And even the other Tampa fans were like, why would he come to us? Dude, we got weapons. Okay. It's just like the other fans are like, all right, well, so do other. Yeah, we got like, fucking Bruce Arians, and yeah, he's probably not gonna sign here, but it'd be pretty cool, right? The guy's like, yeah, it'd be the coolest thing ever, but like, and then all of a sudden it happens. Tom Brady signs with the fucking Bucks. That one, the fucking crackhead, dude. Yeah, literally, like, nobody knows where he's going to go. So I feel like the era's, like, this dude's going to wind up signing with, like, fucking Chicago somehow. He's going to be a Bear and win a Super Bowl there. I'm going to be like, what the fuck? He's just going to pop up in Houston as the new quarterback of the Texans, and everyone's going to be like, that's a bad move. Fuck around and win a Super Bowl. Be like, huh? Go to Detroit and do this. What are you doing? Yeah, no, you know what the funniest thing would be is if this little fucker wound up in Detroit. I'd be like, this is the easiest thing for me to ever root for in my entire life. Let's go. This is my new number 1 team, is the Lions. Yeah, Mike Evans, like the whole Tampa Bay offense did. Yeah, there was a whole thing, yeah. Yeah, 100% Lamar's not leaving your team now, Seth. You guys got rid of Greg Roman. John Harbaugh announced he's going to just bring in every receiver that they can and work with Lamar to bring in his coordinator. Kind of sounds like the contract announcement's imminent from the Ravens. That's my gut feeling on the Lamar Jackson thing now. Now that I've seen all this today, at first I was like, is Roman Is he mad? No, okay, this is good. Okay. Lamar is staying then. They're clearly, they chose Lamar. That's how I can kind of read. Now I bet you it's just hammering out like some fine details of what it's probably going to be a wild contract. I think Lamar is going to have to come off the whole thing being guaranteed. I don't think that's going to be possible because of that knee injury now. But that does probably mean if he's willing to jump off and go down to like 150, I think, which is what they were goddamn offering him in the first place. Isn't what Lamar's pissed on is the guaranteed money? Like he wants it fully guaranteed like Deshaun's is. But it's like literally like it's like $5 million more than what fucking Watson's getting, and it's not the money amount, it's not the years. That's all fine because it's literally like there's like a thing like it's just like it's slightly more than what Watson's getting. But like Lamar's only getting like 160 million fully guaranteed instead of Watson getting the 230. And it's like, dude, Lamar, you literally just damaged your PCL. You're not gonna fucking get that fully guaranteed now. Like at this point, Lamar. Maybe just take that 160 and just be like, all right, we'll take that fully guaranteed. The other money will come anyway. And I think most of the other money isn't even tied up in like performance incentives. And I think it's all tied up in this like playing the games. Like if he plays 17 in those games, he'll get the full 230. It's not even like he has to be top 5 in MVP voting to get his full money. Or like throw 30 to combine for 25 total touchdowns a season and like 50 100 total yards and like some crazy numbers to be able to get the full money by the end of the contract. I literally think it's like we just need him to be able to play all 17 and then there's like a small amount less per game per season he plays. It's like a weird, it's not that bad of a contract, but it's like Lamar really doesn't want to play without the fully guaranteed, and it's like I really wish the Browns wouldn't have given Watson that fucking fully guaranteed contract. Because now it's like because it's so high of a contract. It's like, God damn it, dude. I wish they were more like Kirk's contracts where it was like 90 million fully guaranteed over like 3 years. Where it's like, why is not everyone just doing what Kirk's doing? That dude's making the most money out of everybody. Signing fucking like 2-year contracts worth like 80 million and is fully guaranteed. He's just picking up $80 million at this time of signing. He's like, all right, we're good to go here at Kirkville. I don't need any more money. Is Watson's Deshaun is his, yeah, 100%. The dude wasn't allowed to do anything in football for 2 years, and then all of a sudden he was told, all right, go crazy. You could literally see Watson play better each game. Like if you go back and watch, just watch it. Hey, you could literally see the rust falling off of his body as he played. That last game, the way he was throwing the ball, there were some fucking dimes in that football game. 200 million? Probably right around 3. Yeah, I would imagine. My guess is 290. And if it's 200, I bet it's fully guaranteed. It'll be like a 10-year, 290, 320 million. It might even be Mahomes level, dude. If he fucks around and gets him in another Super Bowl or in another AFC title game, they might Mahomes this kid. Like I'm talking like a 10, 12-year, 400 milli, 500 milli type deal where they fucking play contract money with it for a while. Where it gives the Browns the Bengals a lot of fun room to play with as it goes along and along and along. If he wins the Super Bowl, he's going to get the same contract Mahomes got. If he doesn't, you might see like a 200 milli fully guaranteed Watson type deal. But if he wins the Super Bowl, dude, he's going to get the fucking Mahomes contract. Cincinnati will never let that fucking kid leave that team. You can't. You have to just be like, whatever you want, dude. We'll call it the Cincinnati Burrows if you're really fucking pressed about it. We don't care. We're the Bengals. We don't fuck. Do you think we give a shit about this team name like that? Do you think we're that attached to this shit? We can move to fucking Youngstown and we don't really give a fuck. We're just we just play football, you know. Jags over K. I hope that happens. That'd be funny. I like the Cincinnati Burrows. Yeah, I mean, they don't have any real reason to stay the Bengals. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like he already is the king. Like he's already just kind of he's like the anointed son. He's kind of like a weird. He's like LeBron James for them almost, but like way less, like almost as like prominent and just like way less of a. I don't know what I'm looking for there. I feel like he's seen in a very similar light to those Bengals fans. Literally comes from Ohio, I think like the Cincinnati area. It's like, oh, this kid's like ours. This is one of our own, and he's leading our Bengals to the promised land. The prodigal son is home. Or the prodigy, the savant son. The kid they sent off to law school, he came back and he's making the family a lot of money. Yeah. He becomes what Mahomes is to the Chiefs. Yeah. Mahomes could fucking never play again and retire today, and he's already literally like the greatest thing in Chiefs history to them. If he wins one more Super Bowl, he could retire. Not only would he make the NFL Hall of Fame, but the Chiefs would literally be like, we had the greatest quarterback ever. And like, listen to what he did before he just decided to step away. And it's just like they could tell the craziest legend. Imagine though you're trying to compete in a sports town like Boston, and you could tell stories of like Larry Bird and like Bill Lamb, like all these like great legends like David Ortiz, like Kevin Youkilis, all those hockey players, and it's like there was a guy named Tom Brady. He was the worst athlete of everybody you named, and he won 6 fucking Super Bowls for that team. All by which is like a shitty grumpy ass head. It was him and his head coach. They fucking just ran roughshod in the NFL for like 20 years. Yeah, they're a sports town. Plus, they know who to get. And I know that sounds weird, but like when you live by MIT, Boston, Harvard, like Boston College is what I meant. All those colleges are like in the same spot. And a lot of them fucking people wind up like getting heavily recruited by all those Boston sports teams. Like they go to MIT, Harvard, and Boston University, all them places. And like, hey, how would you like to work in our statistics department making 6-7 digits a year, helping us build a fucking baseball team? Okay, that sounds like fun. Because they're fucking sporty nerds. Just like by the time, because they've lived in Boston for about 4 years and all they've seen is winning, so they're like, this is a lot of fun, and like they like get to like winning and shit, and they're like, I want to go help them win more. And that's why Boston has this terrible advantage in team building all the time. They always seem like they're like 20 steps ahead, don't they? They're never bad for very long in any sport. It's fucking super annoying. Basketball is probably their biggest obvious thing of that, and then football. And then I would say baseball is pretty common since about 2004. They're pretty much like super competitive every like 2 or 3 years in the MLB. Sup, ape? Hockey as well. Literally, think about it. How long are Boston teams bad for? What, like a year, maybe 2? And then they're back to being like almost world champions. They're just like, oh, that sucks. That's fun. Red Sox, Celtics. Yeah, they're rarely bad for long. And if they are bad, it's like one season, like half the season because they're young, and then they get really good. The Bruins, I think, are like the best team in hockey. Yeah, it's like it's literally like fucking horseshit. And I think the fucking Celtics are almost the best team in basketball. Dwayne Wade and Dan Marino. Yeah, those are your guys. Yeah, and I think the Celtics are just beneath being the best team in basketball. And the Patriots could be back to being the fucking shit next year. Think about it. How much are the Patriots missing from being a top team in the NFL again? What? Add in a receiver, a competent fucking coach, a decent right tackle. and one wide, and if they get DeAndre Hopkins, are you saying that the Patriots are going to be that bad? Would you say, oh, they're going to be shitty, or would you be like, oh, fuck, dude, they fixed everything? They're gonna. It's like with that defense that they have, where they barely gave up 20 points a game last year. Oh shit! Like, think about it. How bad are the Patriots really gonna be? They literally are fixing their mistakes. Robert Kraft said he's super back involved with the team again. Now that he had to get a couple deals done or something like that. Apparently, the reason the Patriots might have kept that shithead Matt Patricia is because. Do you guys want to hear something? That's rather embarrassing. My team's owner didn't help with us hiring any players or coaches last offseason because the league had him helping with the direct TV situation. If you think I'm kidding, Robert Kraft is the reason that YouTube TV is getting Sunday Red Zone. And that took like the entire season. And within about 2 weeks of that being finalized, it's basically the Patriots announced they're gonna be very heavily fixing their football team. I think old Kraft got back from the thing and went, because all of a sudden there's a whole different tone around the New England Patriots with this job because we've never done shit like this. They're changing everything. They're like, all right, Bill's like, all right, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't pick offensive coordinators no more, huh? Yeah, and you know what? Also, you remember how Bill Belichick was talking all this crazy shit about how football doesn't need coordinators and you don't need to have specific coordinators. You can just put like a bunch of random people in charge of the positions. While innovative and a creative idea, holy shit, did that not work? Matt Patricia is going to just go back to being a defensive linebackers coach, which is what he's good at. Because the Patriots are officially going back to coordinator roles. For example, one of the reasons Gerard Mayo, who was a very, very hot head coaching / defensive coordinator role for just about any team who needed a coordinator or a head coach, a lot of teams wanted Gerard Mayo. I'm sure the Dolphins would have probably hired him as their defensive coordinator had the Patriots not suddenly out of pretty much nowhere offered fucking Mayo a fuckload of money and a promotion to defensive coordinator title outright. So we got a defensive coordinator now. It's not Belichick's kid. It's Gerard Mayo. It's like, all right, there's Belichick's replacement, by the way. If you're wondering, I wonder who the next coach of the New England Patriots might be. It's probably Gerard Mayo. That's my first guess on that position. Seems he's being groomed for the job. No, I think Lamar's going to wind up staying in Baltimore now. I got into a full-on fight with Ben in the Discord earlier. Anybody want to know what about? About Aaron Rodgers and what he it wasn't bad. We weren't being mean to each other. It was just a very fast typing affair where basically Aaron Rodgers made a statement that he's they're only like half reporting what Aaron said. They're basically stating that Pat McAfee asked him if he could still play. Does he think he could still play good? And essentially Aaron said, yeah, I still think I could play at a high enough level to win an MVP. And then further on in the conversation, he eventually, he's like, also, if I'm not playing for Super Bowls, there's really nothing to play for. So if the team isn't appearing to try to win a Super Bowl, I don't want to be there. It's kind of the vibe from that. And then a lot of people are taking that first part of that where it says, I still think I can play at an MVP level, so I still think I can play very good, and kind of just running with that and going, this dude cares more about awards than he fucking does actually winning the Super Bowl. And it's the craziest shit because I didn't even do this. And I'm like, that's some fucking that's the least interpretable and like charitable interpretation. But I was like, I'm also just going to run with this to get under Ven's skin because I know it's going to. So I was like, Ven, it's very obviously that this fucking guy no longer cares about ever winning a Super Bowl again. You know what? The first thing he thought of when he was asked a question of if he could still play at a high level was like, yeah, I could still win MVPs. I was like, if you asked Tom Brady that same question, Tom, do you still think you could play at a high level? Yeah, I could still contribute to a team to win a Super Bowl. Do you think the words MVP would ever come out of his mouth unless specifically asked? Tom, do you think you could still win an MVP at this age? And he'd probably be like, I don't think about that. I'm just trying to win a Super Bowl. It's just like... And I tried to explain to Ven that is the fundamental difference between Brady and Rodgers, and why people are pointing out what Rodgers said is a little weird because it's like people like Gronk. Gronk was like, why is he talking about MVPs? Why not just talk about Super Bowls? Because again, Gronk has probably been around players like Brady who say the following phrases. People think I'm too old, but I'm not old enough to not win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's always been, I'm still good enough to participate, like to contribute to a Super Bowl. I'm still good enough to win to win Super Bowls. Still good enough to make the Super Bowl happen. Gronk's fine with the Patriots now. He got over his fucking woes about the injuries. It's literally just an injury. He was just bummed out for a minute there, Fernando. He's fine now. He also said if Tom Brady went back to the Patriots, he'd join him in a heartbeat. like he also has made statements like that. Just like fucking Julia, like, dude. It was a really weird. There was a weird separation with Gronk. Like it was, but I'm pretty sure everything's fine now. I think him and Belichick are cool now. I don't think it's that serious with Gronk anymore. No, he was. There's a very specific thing he said about the Patriots, is that we used the fuck out of that guy. We're a very there's no breaks in the Patriots. Like I think he had a problem with the work ethic culture in New England. Is more of what he had a problem with, whereas how hard everything and how like physically demanding it was, and it's like. I think Belichick's one of his issues is if you say you're healthy and ready to go, he expects you to like fully go. Like you can't. There's no like, well, I'm playing like partially injured, and I think in Belichick's mind, it's like then sit the fuck out. Like I think that's how Belichick's mind operates, and that's how a lot of older football minds operate. It's like, listen, I understand people are hurt, but if you're hurt, please sit the fuck out. We don't need you half at like, and I think that's where Gronk and Bill had a little bit of butt heads, where it's like Gronk's like, I'm out there giving it 80%, and this fucking guy's mad at me about it. It's like, that's you don't win 300 games by accident, Rob. Dude, yeah, I love Gronkowski, so I really. We should have Gronk and Tom in the booth. Yeah, that's probably not going to not happen. I would imagine that's going to happen, Kenny. The problem, though, is Gronk is incredibly bad at announcing. I don't know if you remember that. You're good, Dre. What's up, man? Welcome. I don't think Gronk belongs anywhere near football. Like, that was... Do you not remember him on the Fox or CBS shows? They got rid of that fucking guy. They were like, nah, this was fucking stupid. I love Gronk. Don't get me wrong. But like, yeah, Tom's going to be like Aikman-esque. But like, fucking Gronk had some of the most awkward moments I've ever seen in them pregame shows. And like, nobody ever respected his like football takes. It was a really weird energy. I mean, they'd be funny, yeah. I mean, it'd be funny. Wait, what, Trey? Neither is Tony Romo, but his voice annoys the hell out of me. Brady's going to be pretty good, I would imagine. He's probably going to be a lot like Aikman. For an announcer, no, that's Troy Aikman. What are you talking? Didn't Aikman win like fucking 3 Super Bowls? Like, nah, I'm pretty sure the best career for an announcer is Aikman, and it's until Tom Brady steps into that fucking booth, it's really not that close. Yeah, no, yeah, Romo, I like that Romo gets excited for every game, but like, you guys have seen me predict plays to a T, just like Tony, right? And remember when everybody freaked out and was like, dude, did you see that former quarterback predict the play? And then I started doing that because I'm like, is that big a deal? You guys notice, none of you guys notice how I'll call out like fucking routes that they need to run. I'm like, all right, they need to run this route with the fucking play action, and then this will happen. And then they'll do that and they'll fucking score almost. And it's like, no one ever gives me any goddamn credit. It's like, where the fuck is where's my fucking, look at this random redheaded dude called out what needed to happen. It happened. And they, like, that's like fucking coordinator level skill. Yeah, you know, Ape, you know what the secret is? Anybody who plays football or has played football can do exactly what Tony Romo's doing. It's literally just looking at what the defense is set up in and going, oh shit, look at that. Look at that. What are they doing? Okay, hold on a minute. Let's run some play. And it's like, but no, I do like that Tony explains things though. It is like super helpful. And I like that he's I mean, if you could sit there and call out plays and call out routes, and then those routes happen, and that's like the fucking way the play goes, and yeah, it's hard to do, but it's also like, I feel like Tony Romo and all former quarterbacks of at least college level should be able to pull that off. That's why they all make good play-by-play commentators, if you haven't noticed. Tirico and Michaels, even though Michaels is on his way out. I don't know, no one is better commentary than Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. Yeah, I like Collinsworth and Michaels, but I think Tirico is really good. Like, I think Tirico is really, really, really good. Dude, you know what's crazy? You want to know why I think Tirico is really good at what he does, and I think more people need to give this man some credit for how good he actually is. Okay, so you know how it showed that what was it? Fucking Tucker was like 17 of 23 on his kicks, or 20 of 26 on his kicks and makes this year. You'd be like, wow, he missed 6 kicks in the time that you would think, wow, he missed 6 kicks. When that infographic comes up, it registers in your brain. You go, wow, he really missed 6 kicks. Those 6 kicks were 3 blocks and kicks of over 55 plus yards each. And it's like, whoa, I didn't even know this dude just read. Like, that's a really good announcer. He had those. He knew what you were thinking. As soon as he like read the numbers, he was like, oh yeah, and by the way, those 6 misses, 3 of them were blocks, and 3 of the other 3 were over 55 yards. 2 of them over 60. And it's like, that is a good goddamn announcer. That is what he's supposed to be. That is what the goddamn analyst announcer is supposed to do. Boom, 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 boom. He's not doing color. That's literally that's a great fucking play-by-play guy. And it's like, yeah, that's a guy who's going to make it in this league for a really long time. That's such a good skill. Like, that's so nice to have. Like, oh yeah, good. That's nice. I'm glad Tirico got that job. I'm very happy that it's Tirico doing Sunday Night Football. He's doing Sunday nights, right? Like, that's like an official. Just, it seems like that's what he's doing now with Collinsworth. Or did Collinsworth go? Oh, fuck, dude. Everybody got moved around this year. I can't remember who was where, but Sunday night, I'm pretty sure it's Tirico and there is it like a revolving door with him. I wish I would have listened more this year. Michaels, I'm glad to see how Michaels go. That guy, not only does he just not want to be there anymore because all his fun friends are just kind of dead. I don't think he wants to be there, honestly. I don't think Al Michaels likes anybody. I think he got along with Chris Collinsworth because Chris Collinsworth would fuck around. like make jokes and shit and like dick around. You gotta remember, Al Michaels isn't that serious of a guy. Like, Like him and John Madden and them would like fuck around on Monday Night Football for most of the broadcast. It was just goofing off and fucking having like it wasn't serious. I think a lot of people have this like misconception of who Al Michaels might be. Oh, Al Michaels? Yeah, well, I mean, Al gets along with everybody. I think Al Michaels is probably should join the Pat McAfee show. That's probably honestly where he'd have the most fun with his life. He'd be like, yeah, I belong here. And it's like, yeah, that's probably where Al Michaels should go just be a part of. just get a weird segment on there, just phone in often. He fits in. I mean, I don't know if you guys, I mean, go look up old Al Michaels stuff and you'd be like, oh, wait a minute. What? You'd be very surprised at how well him and like John Madden were like the duo. And you gotta remember, you've seen Al Michaels. That guy wasn't fucking serious whatsoever, but it was. Imagine going from like your broadcast partner's fucking John Madden to like everybody else. Dude, you could see it in his face. He's like, everybody sucks compared to John Madden. You can almost see it in like his sad eyes where he's like, I just want somebody fun again. Everyone's so boring. They treat this shit so serious. We're talking about football. It's really not that serious. Let's just make fun of some people. Look at some of these people in his crowds. Some of these weirdos. Nobody wants to rip on the fucking people. You can almost, I kind of feel bad for Al Michaels because nobody just go watch some classic Monday Night Football stuff. It's not like laser sharp game focused. And I think that's part of the problem with modern football broadcasts. They're like weirdly too focused on the game. Like they don't really like talk about the crowds and just random things and just like pointing random shit out about what's going on. I don't know who gives a shit about like a fucking fourth down play in the third quarter of a 2-score game. Like why are you so laser focused on what's going on? If they fake it, then pay attention. Otherwise, just tell us where the punt landed. It's like and there's the punt, and back to this weird guy eating hot dogs. Like it's like, wait a minute, this guy's eating multiple. It's just better. Fox only because I think they do commercials better. CBS got fucking cancer with commercials, dude. They used to not show much emotion on TV back in those times, Fernando. Yeah, dude. Fox is way better at football. They got better announcers. Like all the AFC announcers are just like fucking garbage people who, I don't know. My number one dream would be to be able to become like one of them football people who get to work for like CBS or one of them. The only problem is, I'd quit swearing. Actually, I could 100% quit swearing. I'd be so good in like a control if they were to like put some reins on me and just be like, all right, just fucking stay as focused as you can on this game. Like, all right, I'll try. Let me go. I have so much shit to talk in this microphone. Like, and we swear to God, if you talk about Peyton Manning once, nah. Hello, NFL world. I'm here to tell you why Peyton Manning's overrated. They'd be like, all right, shut him down. Just take him the fuck off already. He threatened he'd do this if we ever put him on the air. That's the craziest thing. I don't even know why we listen. In the interview, he said he'd do this. We shouldn't have given this asshole the job. Yeah, I'm very honest. Be like, if you put me in front of a microphone, at one point I'm going to talk about how overrated Peyton Manning is. I have a whole factoid on it. And they'll be like, oh, that will probably go viral. We'll let this retard talk, sink his own career. Like, nah, I'll start the fucking gaslighting campaign on this man's career. Let me loose on the NFL public. I'll change narratives about Peyton. I'll have people in the Hall of Fame wanting to go back and change their unanimous votes. Like, actually, it's a no from me now. And I'll be like, oh, this is excellent. I remind everybody every day about the steroids. I'll bet whatever happened to Peyton Manning getting shipped steroids directly to his house and the FDA had to rate him almost. Whatever happened with that? Why doesn't no one ever care about that? That was weird. And that just went away. Did Peyton Manning ever get drug tested by the NFL for that? Why did Peyton Manning's head grow like Barry Bonds and no one ever talks about it? We accuse Barry Bonds' head of being bigger as the sole reason he did steroids, right? Because it's not impossible to get big like Barry did. It's unlikely without steroids, but it's not impossible. It's not like he was fucking shredded. Looking like a pro wrestler. No, his head grew too big and everyone's like, I gotcha. And it's like, what about Peyton Manning? Nah, it's not proof of shit. Okay, whatever. Is it because Barry's black? Is that what it is? Because I really, at this point, it's like, do you just think Barry's black and cheated? It's like the guy who holds the record's black. Yeah, they think he cheated too, back when he broke the record. They came up with every excuse in the book, especially that he took greenies, which is called speed, amphetamine. It's just like some weird thing with who I don't know. I can prove he did steroids and I'll shut up about it, but until then. Some guy trying to save his ass from going to prison said he did them. Oh wow, that's crazy. What up, Kryptonian? Yeah, by the way, that's why I don't trust any of them like Balco list or fucking Conseco lists or anything. Because it's like, wow, you mean a guy who was going to prison tried saving his ass by saying everybody was on steroids and just threw a wide-ass net? I don't care what he has to say. I don't care about what snitches have to say. And Conseco is a fucking snitch too, just trying to make some money, so he just gave out the most salacious names. If these guys don't admit that they did it, and you don't have a positive drug test to prove it, innocent. Go ahead. Take Barry Bonds to court for it. I'm pretty sure he might win a perjury case or two about it. Or at least come close. Come real close to winning one. I forgot what started this. Oh, Peyton Manning's big head. Trying to work backwards. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just start a new topic. So do you guys think the Jaguars? Oh, that's tomorrow's stream. You guys excited for any of the games Sunday and Saturday? Yeah, oh yeah, if I got a chance to be on TV, that shit would be hilarious. I'd just talk shit on all the players. Probably get beat up after the game, but you know what? I don't care. I'd sue them. Yeah, there isn't a bad game. Like, that's one of the things I've been thinking about. We don't have to go, we're not going over them or anything. But like looking at all these games, I don't really see where there's one where it's like, yeah, I feel 100% that team X or Y is winning. It's like, really? You don't see at all chance the Jags get the upset? They almost upset them in the regular season when the Jags were banged the fuck up and not playing as good as they are now. The Chiefs barely could handle the Jags at their worst. Can they handle the Jags at their absolute apex right now? I don't know. Giants almost fucking beat them with backups to Philadelphia. You're like, man, the Eagles definitely beat them wildly the first two times. So it's like, actually, that second game, the Eagles almost lost with their starters against the Giants' backups. And that tells me the Giants might have something figured out. Or at least it might be a little closer than we think. Cincinnati and Buffalo. Oh, that game is pretty much a toss-up from the fucking rip. It's like, well, you can just make an argument around this team. You can make an argument for that team. And you really can't be wrong on either assessment in that game. And then kind of a similar situation with the Cowboys and the 49ers. I feel like those two are dead even. Whereas, like, I feel like if the Niners had Jimmy G, I'd 100% give them this game. But I'm just like, man, if Purdy turns into a rookie in this game, then they're going to fucking get destroyed. But if he plays a quarter of what he did against last Sunday, that's all they got to do, and they'll win. They can win easily. You still got the Bengals. Same here. Josh Allen has turned the ball over way too many. Yeah. And they're red zone turnovers too. So it's not like down the field, like in like shitty little, oh, well. No, it's like they're like on big important drives, and he's like turning the ball over. And you're not going to do, like, you can get away against that, like against the Patriots or some shit. Because again, the Patriots, their defense has been, not their defense, but their offense was god awful this year, so you can make mistakes. But like, you're not going to be able to do that against the Bengals offense, because they'll take every single turnover and like they have to be like one of the top 5 teams in turnover, like scoring off turnovers. The Patriots are very good at doing that. Almost always they get at least 3. I think the Bengals score a lot of touchdowns off turnovers. The Lions are really good at turning around points. I think the Bengals actually tend to score a lot when they get, or the not the Bengals, but the Bills. This season, that's true. In my meta franchise, I had a 1-star fat guy with a beard as my damn. That's a pretty good. Did you guys have a lot of success on offense? I would imagine you did, especially if he was a defensive coordinator for most of his life. I'm looking for something really quick. See if there's any crazy news I want to talk about. And I'm like, there's something I feel like I'm forgetting, but I mean, it'll come up if it comes up. The Bengals-Bills game should have been played at a neutral site. Yeah, I agree, because they're still claim the Bengals could be the higher seed in this game, and could be if they would have won. The Bengals would be the 2 seed had they won that game against that wasn't able to be played. I'm sure if you're a Bengals fan, you probably feel a little bit ripped off. Who, the Bengals? Yeah, they were out to fucking kill, dude. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about tonight? Who are any big moves? Mainly just a bunch of teams like interviewing, and I don't think any real hiring is going to start for a little while anyway. I don't think that's usually till next week is when the hiring usually will start. And I don't think you can really hire teams that like people who are in the playoffs until after the playoffs end, so it's kind of weird. But do I think Dak? It's yeah, maybe. The Cowboys secondary is the 49ers secondary can be kind of suspect at times. So I mean, if he can deal with the pass rush and the linebacking core, you could probably do some okay damage in the secondary with his receivers. But the problem is that pass rush and the linebacking core is it makes their secondary a whole lot better, because that forces quite a bit of bad throws from the offense when that pass rush is getting after you. And I don't know, Dak might make a couple bad throws. And the 49ers will 100% take advantage of bad play and like bad throws. And I don't know. They're a very hard defense to neutralize. And I wonder how the Cowboys are going to pull that off with their offense, especially since Dak can be kind of skittish at times. I know Dak just also played, I think, his arguably best career game last week. So you kind of have this like weird double-edged thing going on where it's like he just beat up on a pretty good defense in Tampa Bay. He had his like best ever game and the biggest lights for his young career. So I don't know. He could probably hang with them now. This new Dak, that if he plays like he did against the Bucks, yeah, he could probably hang with them anyway. Can he succeed? That probably depends a lot on that defense completely shutting down the 49ers offense. Like if the game's under 20, I really like the Cowboys to pull it off. Anything over 20, I kind of start to lose faith because I don't see the 49ers defense giving up over like 30. But I could see Dallas's defense just getting fucking butt fucked. Like most of it, just things, the bottom falls out and it just gets terrible for the Cowboys. The 49ers can kind of like keep it together. They're like, plug the leak. Yeah. It would be pretty funny. Let's see, what other kind of crazy news are we missing this week? Bill O'Brien interviewed. Boyer got fired. Brett Maher needs to practice this week. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, one of the things I guess I wasn't surprised about, but a little bit like, wow, is that Byron Leftwich got fired, or Byron Leftwich. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense they were going to fire people in Tampa, especially like the offensive side. But it's like, I really thought Leftwich should have been made head coach. But, I guess they don't believe that in their way. Jim Schwartz got hired by the Browns. Eesh. Yeah, I didn't know that. They made that decision quick. Man, that's not bad. That's a good former head coach. He probably knows what he's doing. Oh, there's they announced the international games. The Patriots will play the Chiefs in Germany. The Titans. No, hold on. Let me just go find the actual. Where is it at? Almost found it. Almost there. The Jaguars will play at Wembley. Hold on. Looks like the Jags are going to play somebody at Wembley. The Bills and Titans will play at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And, of course, the Chiefs and Patriots are going to play in Germany. So, we're playing Kansas City. I think they've already literally announced it's Kansas City. But, I mean, it might not be. I guess it might be somebody random. But they sure the hell made it sound like we're playing the Chiefs. Yeah, I'll just look. Oh, come on, what is this? Oh, this sucks. Oh. What is this? The Jags. The teams will announce we'll see the Patriots and Chiefs both play regular season games. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So it sounds like will make their debuts in Germany following the interleague. So I think Kenny's right. I think there is going to be two separate games. Yeah, I think Kenny was right on that. It sounds like they both got games. Phone name, Nachname, email address. See, in German, isn't it funny that like if they don't have a word prior to the word existing in their language, do you know what the German word for email is? Oh shit, it's email. I always find that to be funny. It's like, what's the German word for email? It's just email. They don't have words like that. What's the German word for computer? Computer with a D. They don't fuck around like that. So yeah, any word that's made prior to the German language, which is pretty much just set in like fucking 2,000 years ago, they just add that word in exactly how it spells out in their language, and they're like, that's what it is to us now. Like a Pop Tart is just like a Pop Tart. It's just like those are Pop Tarts. They know what that is, and I find that to be the coolest thing of the German language. They're just like, we'll just add and throw that on there, and I'm like, oh, that's where the mutant language of English gets its qualities from. Or English just goes, yeah, we'll just take and just add that in. That's just a part of our language now. Oh, that's not what the real meaning is. It is now. Yeah. I have to do some online work tomorrow morning. I had the biggest L ever today. I was like chilling, about to play RuneScape and order some dinner. I looked down, it was like 4:45. I was like, I should look at my class schedule just to make sure it's not today that I have class from 5 to 7:50. And I looked down and I went, oh, fuck me. I have class in like 7 minutes. So I had to get changed and pretty much make it to campus. I left at about, what the fuck was it, like 5:03. So I got dressed and completely ready. Made it to campus, which is about 2.5-3 miles from my door to the inside of that classroom in about 20 minutes. Making some good moves. I was still like, I got there at like 5:30, almost on the dot, so it wasn't too bad. Man, I was ready to chill though for the rest of the day. I was like, so I'm ready to eat for the day. I'm fucking vibing. I got 4 hours till I stream, nothing to do. Oh, you missed your first day of class? At least it was a syllabus day, so it's not the end of the world. As long as you go the rest of them. Yep, I made it to class and everything was all cool. What's up, Steelers Nation? Nathan? What's up, man? I don't know why I just called you Steelers Nathan. I'm just going to call you Nathan. The Steelers are keeping Mac. Yeah, I don't know why you guys are doing that. You thinking Deontay Johnson's going to be shipped away? I would imagine so. There's a lot of mouths in the kitchen to feed. You guys also could be trying to draft Jordan Addison, who Pickens says you guys should draft. I wouldn't be too shocked about that. Duplicate your very talented young receiver. But then again, I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are after a receiver like Jordan Addison, so might not be available. You guys wound up having way too good of a record at the end of the year to get a player like him. Oh yeah, it would be, and that's why I think Pickens wants him. I mean, they're friends. They're gonna work out in the offseason together, apparently. See, that's why I always wait to see what's going on with the draft stuff. I always look, because like I like to find out things like that. Like, oh, okay, so George Pickens and this Addison kid are like, so he probably plays very similar to what Pickens plays. Good to know. I would imagine, yeah, Deontay's going to get traded. Yeah, I imagine he's going to get traded to acquire another pick or two. Yeah, to make up for having to trade for that player or that pick move up. Damn, Fernando's W or is a W machine tonight. Aaron Donald. Yeah, he's been doing all kinds of unretiring. Aaron Donald's just the fucking menace. Johnson's speedy but very inconsistent, and Pickens has been a rookie. Yeah, it's just time to move on. Plus, I don't think Deontay really wants to deal with whatever the fuck's going on in Pittsburgh. I think he's very demotivated by whatever's going on. You have nothing to say? For sure, Fernando. W, Fernando. You should do push-ups. And after every one of them, just scream the letter W. No, don't do that. Because you might actually do that, and you might get in trouble with your parents. And you'd be like, it's just 11:30, and I'm just scream yelling push-ups. What's the big deal? Buy me a dog, and I won't do this. Fuck you. But don't. I wouldn't advise actually doing that. You probably get in trouble, you know. Get beat up. Fuck parents. What kind of weird defiance is this? Fuck you. And they punch you. Then you feel like real fear for the first time or second time in your life where you're like, all right. The Pats? No. We don't need another fucking second string receiver. The Patriots need to make the following, like go hard for like a Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. Try and see if we can slither away fucking T. Higgins. Because the Bengals don't need 900 goddamn wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins. Like, guys like that. Like, they need that. They don't need another fucking... Because literally, the Patriots, like... I like Deontay Johnson, but is he any better than Jacoby Myers or fucking Kendrick Bourne with the one on that team? Like, just, like, I know that's a very extreme statement, but it's like, oh, that's... Because, again, Deontay plays with a bunch of other good receivers. Now, if you give the Patriots another good one, Kendrick Bourne's not that much different. Maybe better, probably. What's up, Jags? So, I don't know. I think, again, or the Patriots go down and grab, like, Godwin or fucking Mike Evans as their one. That's more of a move. I don't know. What's up, Jags? Speaking of teams who needs receivers, it's the Jaguars. Zay Jones has 0 drip. Hey, I appreciate that, Jax. He's like, oh, right when I do that, you're gonna be a fucking dick about that. A whole bunch of wide receivers won't give your team a huge boost. You need more advanced turnaround, smarter moves. Yep. There's also a good shot. What are you going to the zoo for, Kenny? What do you There's also a good shot the Patriots might make a move on not Justin Jefferson, but Adam Thielen, because Thielen's probably going to be on his way out of Minnesota this offseason, right? So you can imagine he's probably gone with Justin Jefferson needing to get paid, which is they want to enter contract extension with him. So Thielen's probably gone. And imagine if the Patriots go ahead and sign the wide receivers coach from the Vikings as their new coordinator and bring in Adam Thielen. That solves all the Patriots' problems right there. We're good to go, baby. And all we have to do is spend the money to bring him. Like, it would be a win-win. We don't have to trade. Leadership conference? Hell yeah, Kenny. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, just draft Cody Mauch out of North Dakota. North Dakota State, rather. One of them two fucking tiny-ass colleges. Well, they're not really small schools. They're like huge schools. They're just like FCS or whatever you want to call it, Division II or some. They play like James Madison and shit like that and just kind of beat the dog shit out of them all the time. Like Sam Houston State and fucking all them tiny colleges. Jamestown University and have I ever been to Kalamazoo? Once or twice. It's home of my college's arch rival, the Broncos. Western Michigan University. Boo, Western. Boo. They say that's where all the special ed kids went to college. Welcome to Western. All we're good at is kind of sports every like 6 years. Fuck that school. Garbage. School of delinquents. A lot of kids who stay there for like a year then go to a real college. Because they got in trouble. And, you know, they don't want to go JUCO. For example, it's like, why the hell was Corey Davis at Central? Like, or at Western? Or, like, why was he there? It's like, we know why Antonio Brown had to go to Central Michigan. He got in trouble. Like that was the only school that would pretty much let him walk on and, you know, give him a chance. You know, he got into some shit and he wouldn't switch off playing quarterback. Yeah, he was being a dipshit. It's like, well, Corey Davis, though, why the hell did he have to go to Western? He's far too good to have played at Western. Trust me, I watched his whole college career. That guy fucking was a monster to watch in person. Especially against, like, you know, MAC defenses. He was just busting them motherfucking skulls wide open. I watched him play twice in person. I'm like, man, this is like the fastest human being I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, I seen that. He's back enrolled in classes and everything. Good for Sauce. Cool for him. Good for him. I'm glad to see. I hope more athletes start doing that. I know a lot of athletes like to do that though. Kind of like real quietly they go about it. Just because, you know, like they, you know, some of those guys, like they are the first people in their family to go to college. So it also becomes a thing of like, not only did I get to play in the NFL, but then I went back, got my motherfucking degree. You know, like that's actually like a very big deal to a lot of families. Like imagine your family just been workers their whole lives and like sharecroppers, and then all of a sudden you have a son who plays at like Georgia or like one of the major schools and like goes to the NFL. Then he's like, I'm gonna go fucking graduate. And then he goes and gets a degree. Like that's like a major pride thing for a family who comes from like farm workers and shit. You gotta remember, not everybody comes from like a distinguished family in the NFL. Some of those guys come from dirt poor backgrounds. And like to some of them guys, like it's like, hey, I got the degree. I'm fucking smart and I can play sports. I'm making my family different now. I'm changing this family's trajectory. Where he throws up before every game. I remember he said it on Von Miller's podcast. Yeah, some people have to puke. Because they got them nerves or something. You doing football again? Hell yeah, Fernando. But you know, my favorite thing has been who was that went back to college? J.R. Smith. Yeah, I seen that. I appreciate all the likes, everybody. I seen we're well up over 20. So I appreciate that. We have 22 likes. So I appreciate you guys very much. Very kind. You played this weekend, you lost 21-7. Like backyard football? This weekend's game should be funny comments. Yeah, we should have some fun stuff to say, Shane, once the games are played through. But right now, we're kind of just waiting for everything to get going. You threw 2 picks. Oof. There's a guy on the Chiefs that pursued his dreams of becoming a doctor. Yeah, Levant LDT, the COVID doctor guy. This is a winter league. I was going to say, it's kind of late. It's kind of like late in the year to be playing football. But for sure. Ugh. Surprised there are people playing football this late in the year, especially since baseball's like right around the corner. It's not like when a lot of teams start warming up. My body even knows that it's almost baseball time. Like I know like at one of my old high schools they started working out. You're not excited? I am. I'm fucking stoked. I know a lot of colleges started working out too for baseball. It's baseball time. You guys have a pretty good shot at winning every year. It's snowing. Ooh, that sucks. Spring ball. Yeah, that's true, Kenny. Losing to San Diego. I would imagine so. That's got to be the worst case scenario. How long? Oh, wow. It's been an hour and 50 minutes. Really? This is a fast, dude. A long stream. I didn't even realize how long we've been live for. I didn't look down. I was like, I'm not going to look at the total time I've been live for the whole stream. Yeah, I plan on doing Tigers games this year. I hope so, Nicholas. I hope so. Because you know, Nicholas, somehow we're fans of teams that always go against each other. Did you know my second favorite baseball team is the San Diego Padres? I've been a fan of the Padres since 05. Yeah, I don't like the Giants either. I have no use for that team name. I don't think as a sports fan there's ever been one person who's been more simultaneously fucked over by the team named Giants. Look at this. 2007, the New England Patriots lose a goddamn Super Bowl to New York Giants. Whoa. 2012-13, the Patriots lose a Super Bowl to the New York Giants. Whoa. Later that year, 2013, the World Series, the Detroit Tigers lose the Super Bowl or lose the World Series to the goddamn San Francisco Giants. I fucking hate that team name, dude. Like, I hear the word Giants and I like nothing positive like comes into my head. I'm like, man, fuck that. I was so happy they were bad at football and like bad. Like, I hope they become bad at baseball. Like, it's like at any point they'll be bad at this and I can laugh at them. Like, I'm not as mad at the football Giants because my team won 3 Super Bowls since then. But you know, my Tigers could have won that year's Super Bowl if I don't know what happened. Or the World Series. It's fucking the Giants, San Francisco, them losers. We lost to a dynasty, of course. I also hate the St. Louis Cardinals too, though. Yeah, baseball, I'm unforgiving about championships. It's like life. What's the video, Jags? I have no idea, Nicholas. I have no idea. I'm not very I don't have high expectations because fucking new GM seems like he's kind of committed to the idea of like rebuilding the team, kind of seeing what's there with all these young players and young things we have. It doesn't feel like we're competing to win a lot this year. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm misreading the moves made by this young Scott Harris. He was the GM of the scout or the GM's assistant of the Giants, and he was also who's that guy everybody likes from the Cubs that was like very responsive? Theo Epstein. He was like Theo Epstein's assistant for the Cubs as well. So Scott Harris has a lot of hype to him, but I don't know. He was the GM, but he was no. No, I don't want to watch that. That sounds like an autopsy. I'm good. Is that word like Spanish for autopsy or Italian for autopsy? No, I'm not gonna look at that. That sounds bad. That sounds like some kind of weird snuff thing. Some fucked video. Yeah, I fucking wouldn't advise anyone to watch that shit then. I'm glad I can read kinda, and I'm like, that looks like an autopsy video. I wouldn't watch that. Yeah, I don't watch stuff like that, dude. It doesn't like fuck me up or anything. I'm like, there's nothing. Why did somebody put that online? Why would anybody want to see that? Ugh, it's uncomfortable. It means autopsy in Spanish. You were right. Yeah, I generally can read words. Anything to do with medicine just comes from Latin, and you can basically be like, that's probably exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, it's probably some fucked up cartel video. I'm good. Yeah, most Spanish, like, yeah, you just kind of just be like, all right, that's probably a Latin word. Yep, right on. Yeah, see, I can tell all that just by all of that tells me cartel. I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch that. That's a cartel video. Nope. Yeah, I'm good. I have very good context clues. You can just put the day. Why would you look at that, dude? We're literally saying it's an autopsy video. Yeah, you're dumb as fuck for looking at that, dude. When somebody comes into chat and goes, hey man, I got this video you should look up, and then it's some fucking foreign language video, never look that video up. Just be like, I ain't gonna look that up. Why? It's somebody dying. Or it's some fucked death video. That's 80% of what they're trying to show you, or it's like dick mutilation videos. And I ain't watching any of that. There's only like a 10% shot. It's a really funny video of like just some silly bullshit. It's like the odds of that are just real low. Oh, it's just like a cat. He fucking, he barks. Like, that's pretty cool. No, it's always like, this guy blew half of his body off with a firework. He ran around and died, and the rest of him bled out. It was fucking brutal. And it's like, I don't want to watch that. And it's just titled Whoops-a-daisy in Russian. It's just like a bunch of lines, and it translates roughly to whoopsie. It's just like, I don't want to watch that. I know what that is. Someone's gonna fucking die in an awful way. There's a guy with like the firework in the thumbnail, and it's like half exploding. It's like yeah, I don't like any of that. It's just like bad vibes, you know what I mean? It's not that it like it kind of is kind of fucked, so it does bother me. But it's like, that's just bad vibes, man. Like, it's like, I don't need that in my life. All that, nah, dude. I haven't seen a lot of that stuff just because I always had the ability to just say, nah, I'm never gonna see any of that. All for football to be back on, Kenny. I know what a lot of that shit is, and I'll just never click on it. I've never got with 80% of things, because again, I'm good. I don't even see any of that shit. I don't even know what that is, so no, I didn't know that. And I don't really care. I don't know some of these people. I don't know who's in your class, dog. I don't. Okay, cool. Good for that guy. Why, like, Fernando? I don't know the people in your life, dog. You're trying to tell me about some Calio. I don't. Who the fuck are you talking about? Like Collie Low. Yeah, he's the bald kid. He sits in the front row. He's got bad eyes. You know. No, dog. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. He's one of my buddies. He was born on 9/11. Dog. Now it's just a whole new name. What are you trying to say? Don't you have autocorrect? Style? Stylio? This dude out here just getting the name of the show wrong. He's like, damn it, I wish I could spell it. Oh, Kailu? That fucking, I don't, okay, cool. What about it? Is it just a random fact about that show? I have a better random fact that'll fucking blow your mind. Do you know the word skepticism is like playing? It's like the most amount of times you'll go back and forth on the keyboard in like the English language. Look at that word: skepticism. Every time you're on a different side of the keyboard dramatically, and it's a hilarious fact of life. Not a single word is in the same letter, isn't kind of by each other. The closest you get is like T to I, but it's still a dramatic shift. And I think my fact beats yours, Fernando. Checkmate, bitch. What's a cool fact you got? I got a lot more. I'm going to start to wrap this up, by the way, everybody. I've been live for 2 hours. If you can't tell, I ran out of things to talk about. So now this is where we've gotten to. Well, you didn't like my other fact? That fact was really good. Okay. The man, did you know the Amazon rainforest was made by people? Or was accidentally made by people? And it's a result of, I don't know, everybody getting smallpox down in South America. Yeah, whoops. Oh, I thought you were saying my facts were bad. My facts are kind of fucking rule, dude. Yeah, Europeans were semi-responsible for the Amazon rainforest. At some point, Kenny, I've just been busy. Life got in the way. You can't, yeah, fucking Fernando. We all know what Caillou is. Nobody fucking watches it. I'm 30 years old, dude. I was like almost 10 when 9/11 happened. I was watching sports at that point. I was moved on in life. I wasn't watching baby kid shows. 9/11 happened and kind of ended my childhood to a very large degree, man. Gotta remember, I was like 9/11 happened. I was 8 turning 9, and I was very aware of things happening in the world. And as soon as they had to explain to me what war was and that we were going to invade countries, I was like, guess it's time to be a big kid. And I like watched The Simpsons from then on. I was like, it's time to grow up. I can't watch a little kid stuff. The country's at war. We just got attacked. You gotta remember, I was a little bit older on 9/11, so I was like somewhat aware of what was going on, and like I wasn't a retarded child, so I was like, oh, this isn't good. All the adults are very scared. So you gotta understand, I was born into a very weird. I came into a weird situation where it was like, oh, I guess I could still watch Pokemon though. And I never was a big TV watcher in the first place. I didn't really like TV. I still don't really. Yeah, it's Thursday. It'll be Friday tomorrow. We'll buy okay. Caillou might have been a big show when you were growing up, Fernando. But you gotta remember that show's for like kids under 5, and I was already like, I was like 10, man. I was making moves already. I remember I like seen the first episode of SpongeBob come out. That was a big deal before for me. Like I remember like going, oh shit, that SpongeBob show's debuting tonight. I didn't even say shit at the time. That's how fucking old I am. I remember SpongeBob debut. It was like 98 or 99 was the year. I have a pretty strong memory. Well, when I'm of my childhood, I have like 7 memories of being a kid. The debut of SpongeBob, vague playing Pokemon memories with my brothers and sister, like 1 or 2 school memories, very random Christmas. I think you just lose most of your childhood. It's just kind of like, you had one. And if it was bad, you probably remember it more so than if it was good because, it just every day was kind of fun. But like unless it was a significant situation, I just don't remember it. Then 9/11 happened and I booted right online. I was like, all right, I'm aware of everything now. And I can pretty much, most things from 9 onward, I'm pretty good about. 8 or 9 or so. Fun fact, we'll be doing some Harry Potter streams in the near future. I've gone back and forth on whether or not I'm going to buy that game and stream it, and I think we're going to. Number one, mainly because my rock solid defense. All of our electronics are made by children in Asia. So, do we support child slavery? No, but we still use the technology. So don't come at me with this weird, I don't like the trans community because I'm playing Harry Potter games. I don't need none of that in my life. I'm going to play that game because for the same reason I use technology. I can't really be responsible for, the ills of a company are not my problem. Also, I've been reading Harry Potter since I was 8, and it's a pretty fucking important series in my life, so, I don't really fucking care. Listen. Everybody knows I'm on the sides of just do whatever you feel. But that game's gonna be fucking sweet. And it's just about everything I've been wanting since I fucking read that first book. Like, oh, come on. Please, J.K. Rowling, just apologize or something for like a week. Just pretend. For sure, Fernando. You have a good day. You have a good rest of the night, man. I'm buying. I may or may not already pre-ordered that shit, or I am in like a day with my YouTube money. That's gonna happen. It may or may not be why I upgraded my computer to a GPU with the 1080 Ti graphics card. Because I was like, damn, I could really probably need a new graphics card. And it's definitely not why I'm going to have 32 gigs of RAM in my computer in the next week. I'm not only going to play this, I'm going to play the fuck out of it and fucking really good graphics. We're gonna be having good times in Hogwarts. Let me tell you, we're about to be doing some fun wizardry. That's gonna be a fun game, by the way. It's gonna be very system demanding though, so I don't think if you got one of the old consoles, you could play it. That things. Do you want to know what the fucking minimum system requirements on this shit? I don't know if you guys know much about like computers. Look at this fucking thing. These are the recommendations. Like if you want like super Unreal graphics, like for example, like if you have one of the newest graphics cards like the 4080 or the 4090, you'll be able to do whatever. But these are the minimum low specs. This would be a high-end computer, by the way, because this is mine. Like I have the high specs, and this is like I'll tell you in a second. For a minimum low one, you'd want a Ryzen 5 1400. That's pretty solid. Or Intel Core i5 6800. Not too bad. 16 gigs of RAM, or you could have a GPU as low as a 960. But things are gonna probably not be the greatest. To get high def, 1080p at 60 frames a second. You would need an Intel i7 8700 or my computer. I have an AMD Ryzen 35. This is just the one I have. I just happen to have had this processor. Very lucky. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, but I'm going to have 32. I actually have an NVIDIA GeForce 1080 Ti. So, and I have a super high def. Let's see, where do I go up to? I can't do ultra specs. So I can't get like 1440p or 4K. To get like, you need like a 2080 Ti or a 3090 Ti to get the craziest settings. Crazy. For Xbox, I don't know, just Xbox. The new Xboxes, I think. What do you get for pre-order? Ooh, scary. What's this one? Oh, this is a bunch of PlayStation event. Cool. Anyway, yeah, so that'll be something we'll have fun with once it comes around. I don't know, is there anything left to talk about? We beat the shit out of a lot of different topics. And tomorrow's obviously the preview stream where we go over the games and kind of talk about those, and then obviously on Saturday, we got 2 games to do. We got the 4:15 and the 8:15, and Sunday we got the 3 o'clock and the 6:30. So yeah, pretty full weekend. We have 4 games to do, and then 2 next weekend, and the weekend after that, which is sad. And then yeah. What did I do? All right, though. If no one else has anything, then I'm probably gonna wrap her up here. Appreciate everyone coming out tonight. It was a fun stream. Probably live around 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish. Probably 9:30 tomorrow. I think that's what I'm gonna try and start streams at. Anywhere from 9:30 to 9:40, in that rough range. Probably not. It's probably gonna be like I don't know, man. I'm gonna try and do UFC this year with a couple events, at least dip my toes into the water, you know what I mean? See what's going on. And we'll have fun doing that, but see, I'm trying to think, like, would it be annoying if I talked over the commentary? Because I don't know how to do UFC. so it's gonna be me like screaming like hubby. It's like I'm gonna be narrating the punch noises. I have no idea what to do with that. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna make sound effects every time he hits somebody. If it's just somebody murking somebody, I'm just gonna have hilarious noises. So I'll have fun with it, but it's commentate over it. Okay, that's good then. All right, then because I don't want to like fuck up and like just jump in there and be completely retarded trying to do something, even though it's gonna be straight up retarded me doing this. I'm not gonna have anything remotely insightful to say. I'm gonna just be like, that guy's strong as shit. Be like, what do you think of the form? He did it really good, man. Too bad he lost. He should have just been stronger. You fucked the form. Tigers for you? It'll hopefully be. I'll try. Like I'll probably be listening to the commentary on that one, where I'll have like one ear on the commentary and then the rest not. So that way I can kind of hear what they have to say about everything. So I can get an idea of like what's actually happening and like be like, oh, okay. Apparently this is a so again, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of a fair weather fan of fighting. Oh, I will. I just literally I will, Jags. I know how to commentate over things. The streams here, no, I don't think they're gonna be the main focus. They'll be focused on. There's other things that I'm gonna do. Ah. I mean, yeah, we're gonna cover Tigers games, but it's no, I'm good, Jags. I don't want it. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to do all this extra work just to talk about people fighting each other. I'm not going to do all that. It's starting to sound like too much extra work now. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. It's a lot of extra work, man, just to watch some fights. I don't feel like doing homework and shit. That just is taking away all the fun for me and out of it already. It's like, yeah, that sounds fucking miserable. Having to go learn a whole fucking thing just to watch like two fights that I have any interest in. You gotta remember, man, this sport doesn't draw me in at all. Like, it has no appeal to me outside of like four people fighting. Like, I want a card to draw me in and like some of the non-big fights to finally get me and be like, oh shit, that was cool. And finally give me something to like, give a shit about. Because that's the problem for me with UFC, right? Is it's so hard for me to like generate like, oh, this is my guy. Like, like with wrestling, I care about the storylines, like, yeah, I care about the fighting, but that's like secondary for me. I'm like, yeah, that's fun. It's fun. But like, those guys are buddies actually in UFC, and like, I know they are in wrestling, but like, well, at least I don't know. I can sell the fight, and like, there's some really good fight sellers, but right, some of the fucking guys suck at this. Yeah, I'm like I said, we'll be watching John's next fight as long as he actually gets one. John should be having a fight soon too. Sugar Sean O'Malley. That'll be fun to watch. That guy's fun. I wish Brock Lesnar would return. I'd watch that one. That'd be hilarious. But he's like 90 years old. He's done. You get Brock versus Cormier fight one. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. The only problem with a sport like UFC is like, man, it could go through one hell of a situation if anybody gets seriously fucked up in it. Like that new slapping thing, that's going to be fine. And it's a fun sport. But the second somebody dies from it, it's going to get the fuck shut down. Like the U.S. government will shut that slap thing down the second somebody dies from it. It's fun. Again, I enjoy watching slapping tournaments. Those have always been some of my favorite Russian content on the internet. But, and it's cool to see it come in. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't really like that. I don't like how much Dana doesn't give a shit about poor people. I don't really like that about the owner of the sport. He doesn't seem to understand that $80 for a fucking pay-per-view with nobody on it is not fucking something people want to pay. See, but I don't know. He doesn't seem to really go after the people who illegally stream it. It's just the people streaming it he seems to have nothing but contempt for. It's almost like he understands poor people just are going to steal the shit because it's there. And it's, you know, it is what it is. He doesn't seem to have any kind of mercy on the people that illegally do stream it to people, though. Not the people who watch it. You know, not the people having a good time talking about it with their buddies. I think he's got a really weird hard-on for people who steal his shit and then, you know, and then put it out there. But if he hates the people that watch the illegal streams too, then he can eat a dick. And that's another reason why I won't fuck with the UFC. If I ran a league, I'd be like, if you pirate it, you pirate it. I don't know. Good luck. Our lawyers will probably take you down, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I know they're leaving the UFC deal. That's what I've heard. Hopefully they lower it because fucking $80 is stupid, dude. Especially for some of them shit cards they put out sometimes. It's like, what is this, dude? Like, I get it if it's like Connor, John Jones, fucking Nunez, one of the big fighters. Like, it's like, well, why? Why for? I'm not paying $80 to watch your beast card fight. That sounds gay. No thanks. I'm done with this game. I'm gonna go watch football. It's free. Have a good night, Kenny. Yeah, I'm taking off too. All right, everybody. With that, I'm gonna get out of here. Kenny's a pretty good canary in the coal mine. But yeah, Kenny, for the most part, we'll be talking about baseball soon. No worries. ESPN 500,000 pay-per-views, only been 2 out of that 13. Oh, really? Oh, shit. They're just not selling the numbers. Damn. UFC they're too expensive, man. You can't sell fucking $80 pay-per-views. I know you do, Kenny. I can't wait to talk about it, but, you know, we still got a couple weeks of football left. Plus, several months of no baseball. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for a fun stream. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for everyone coming out and having a good chat. We will be live again tomorrow for the, as per usual kind of streams. The divisional round preview stream, it'll be tomorrow. And then, of course, we have the games on Saturday and Sunday. Then Monday, I might do some gaming streams, or Tuesday it might be a gaming stream. One of those days will be gaming. The other day might be like a review, or not. It might just not be sports related. It might just be gaming both days. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Probably try to utilize this fucking graphics card I bought at some point. So, yeah. All right. That sounds good. And then we'll take next Wednesday off. So, all right, we're back on the grind. Thursday through Tuesdays is the streaming schedule for the time being. So, and of course, as the season ends, we'll like adjust and make some other content ideas. All right, goodbye. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks a lot. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. And I'll see you when I see you next. Thank you for a fun stream. Goodbye, good night, and